I'm Olivia Bailey, and if you are seeing me right now, you're probably watching EHCtv on Comcast Cable, or you might be listening to WEHC 90.7. Whether you're seeing or hearing me right now, I'm glad you're tuned in. My guest today is junior infielder on the baseball team, Caleb Rotton. Caleb, thank you for being on the set.
Thanks for having me, Olivia.
Well, baseball is America's pastime, and I think every little kid at some point grows up playing catch or stuff with their friends. When did you actually start competing in baseball?
When I first started baseball, I started when I was 4 years old. Of course, everyone starts with T-ball. And I started getting really competitive in travel baseball, which is usually when you start around 12 years old. You start playing really competitively, going and play all around throughout the Southeast and everything. So that's when I really started to fall in love with baseball, put everything else aside.
Was there any specific moment, I guess, growing up on one of those traveling teams? Did you ever have a big season or a big moment that you kind of knew that's what you loved?
Yeah, there was a time when I was down in playing a tournament in Georgia. Actually, we won our championship tournament there, and I remember telling Dad I loved baseball. I wanted to give up basketball and really just focus on baseball because that was what I wanted to do. So that's what I pursued.
Was that a hard move for you to make? I know that a lot of us, I know I did, I grow up as athletes, so you grow up competing in a little bit of everything, and to give up other sports is kind of like a heartbreak. Did you ever have one of those moments, or has it been really fulfilling for you?
I feel like for every athlete, there's definitely always a lot of doubts, especially as a young kid. I really didn't know what I wanted, but I did know that playing baseball was fun to me. It eventually got pretty serious. When you get into high school, it actually matters. Winning matters instead of just doing what you're supposed to, right? Doing your job. But it did get pretty tough, and it was very. I had a lot of doubts, but I feel like I made the best decision, for me.
And so now you're here. You came from Spartanburg, South Carolina to Emory. How did you find Emory?
It's actually a good question. I actually have a personal friend here. His name's Sam Lyon. He's a senior on our baseball team. And we grew up in a big church together back home. It's probably solid 500 members. It's a pretty big church. And we always played baseball growing up together. I think when we were around 14 is when I met Sam. And his dad was a baseball coach. And they encouraged me to come up here. And it was either between this school or Division II in Georgia. And I felt like I just fell in love with Emory. So this is why I'm here.
How does it feel, I guess, to reconnect with Sam and play on a college team with him? Is that special?
It really was. Sam was one of the main reasons that I was able to connect so well here. I had a lot of questions for Sam and probably even got on his nerves a little bit freshman year, always asking where this building is or how do I do this, really coping with the team. Sam was kind of like my backbone, if you will. But I eventually had to establish my own independence and get out there and really meet my own friends, establish my own sense of identity here, experience my own Emory, if you will.
And so here at Emory, what are you actually majoring in and pursuing here?
I'm actually a math major, math education actually. I want to teach high school math and coach baseball, and I already have several master's classes under my belt. I'm going to be a fifth-year student here soon. So.
Well, that's excellent, those opportunities that you've got here. As well as the baseball team, you talked a little bit about your relationship with Sam, but being on an athletic team, it's like having a second family most of the time and having a whole group of friends. What's the atmosphere like on the baseball team here?
I feel like it could be different for everyone. For me personally, it's definitely somewhere where I can go at the end of the day, after everything's over, and it's really a place where I can just let go. I feel kind of free. Baseball it's fun. It can be a job at times, but it's definitely a place that I can go and really just not think too much, get my mind off of things. And the hours that we put in, it's definitely a stretch, but I absolutely love doing it. It can be relieving of anything, I believe, but it's fun. It's very fun. I feel like if it's not fun, you shouldn't be doing it at all.
And a lot of that, I think, comes from the leadership. Coach McCall is here. But you guys have had a couple of coaching changes and additions to the staff. Can you talk about that a little bit and what the changes have been on the team so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had a new coach last year, Coach Miller. He was very young, and he was a bit arrogant, if you will, and I feel like he made a lot of the big inspiring changes on our team. He definitely instituted a lot of things that we had never used before. We had really started playing more of a small ball type game. That's definitely what it's become in this day. And then this year we have a new coach named Coach Schaffner, who coached at UVA and Mars Hill, and he's here with us, and he's kind of like our pitching coach. He does a little bit of offense too, but he's definitely made a lot of changes for us. He's brought in about 20 new guys, and we're really excited to see what that's happened. And we've definitely had a lot of guys that are experiencing a lot of fatigue right now, but we're expecting through Coach Schaffner and Coach McCall and their leadership, we feel like those guys are going to come back and step up for us.
And you're becoming one of the leaders on this team. You're a junior now. What are you guys bringing back as team leaders? You had a big season last year. What are you doing this year to improve upon that?
Definitely can't replace the guys that we lost from last year, who got us there. I believe no one person really got us there, but that group of guys definitely cannot be replaced. I feel like with the new guys coming back, we definitely want to uphold with what they set for us. They definitely set a high bar for us to uphold up. I feel like we can do that. But like I said, we definitely are going to have some guys, some freshman pitchers, specifically step up and get it done for us. But we're expecting big things, and we're excited about it, and I certainly hope we can do that.
And the ODAC results, the preseason polls just came out, ranked Emory a little low this year. What is that any kind of motivation for the team?
I would say it's definitely motivation for the team. Ever since I've been here, since freshman year, we've always been the bottom of the totem pole in a sense. But I feel like, me personally, I've always liked being the underdog. It's always been more inspiring, more motivational to want to come from the bottom and beat bigger teams. We can definitely hang with anyone in our conference. I think we proved that this past fall when we went down and beat King 10-1 our first game. I feel like that was a big step up for us. And being ranked 9th, that's not really where we want to be, especially after finishing 3rd last year in the ODAC overall. But I feel like a lot of guys will underestimate us, and I feel like we'll come up from underneath and surprise them.
Is there a definite goal that you guys have set as far as finishing top 3 in the ODAC or winning the ODAC? I know that's always a dream, on any team, but is there a specific goal that this team has set yet?
I wouldn't say there's any specific goal, but I would say if there's anything short of winning the ODAC conference tournament, then your goals aren't high enough. And I think we definitely expect that out of the guys that are learning what we're about here. Definitely us older guys, we're trying to lead them in that and instruct them in where their sights should be set, and how to achieve that kind of work ethic and keep it up. And but definitely an ODAC championship, and hopefully more.
Well, as a fan, I hope for the same thing. Hopefully we can get some weather and get out of this snow to
Absolutely.
Have some baseball weather. But I wish you the best of luck on the team, and wish the Emory and Henry baseball team the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You've been listening to this sports interview on EHCtv. This has been Olivia Bailey. Please join us on Comcast Cable, channels 70 and 95, each Wednesday and Thursday night at 7 o'clock.